And we here. What's happening? What's up, Alexis?
Hello,
Can you hear me?
hello.
Hello. Let's turn down this pop music. This ain't a pop time. You hear me? We're here.
No.
What? We no and yes. Yes and no. What's up, everybody? Welcome. You are now tapped in to Starter Bench, the world famous and world's best Chelsea themed live stream. Interactive live stream where you, the audience, as well as us as Chelsea fans and haters, whoever's tapped in, are able to come and participate in these live surveys where we pick this team, this Chelsea inflated team. A lot of changes go on with a super club like ours, and no bigger change this year that has happened so far on this show than this week. Alexis, Maresca is out. How do you feel? What's going on? Welcome. What's happening?
Oh my gosh. Hey guys. Well, this is how we're going to break down today's episode for you guys. Obviously, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, Maresca being out.
Or the elephant not in the room is more appropriate. But yes.
Right. And then we're going to talk about actually our board and our owners, Blueco. We're kind of going to explain a little bit about what they're currently doing to our club. And then we'll talk about potentially who could be our next manager, who the options might be, and we'll go from there.
That's all it is. That is it. I mean,
yeah. So Maresca being out, I know how I felt about him. I never thought he was going to allow us to win the title, but again, with our own owners, we don't even know if that's something they even want to attain. I was pretty indifferent. I think I mentioned early on that I didn't really understand his substitutions. I gave him praise when he did well, and I was very critical when he didn't. But honestly, as I was doing a ton of research, it backs that he's a good manager, and I use the word good. But the timing of him leaving right now, I don't know if that's really appropriate for us right now in the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the bigger things. It's really, can we ever get, some time with a manager who has won stuff for us where he can actually finish a season and then we can actually assess in the summer like an appropriate club behavior would be. I was really interested in here. So this is Alexis and I usually talk a little bit before each show, but we made sure not to talk anything about this. So this is my live reaction. And I'm actually surprised, but not surprised of what you said. Based on, obviously, the history we've had with Maresca thus far. I will never forget, Club World Cup. It was the summertime. We were turned, we're looking at each other. I remember, I think you said verbatim, Maresca's a genius. And, as we embraced and we were like, this guy.
Get out of here.
but you've been appropriately critical of my boy all season, and I think it's very appropriate. I think
I'm about to clip that part.
Maresca's a genius.
Maresca's a genius.
And I'm gonna find the clip too. I think I have it. Like it's like somebody's cell phone video from the side. But the fact of the matter is, look, I think I knew I was going to be more disappointed than you. Obviously you've been critical of Maresca. I agree with you on there's been some very questionable things. But again, the type of manager he is, and I think I've even said this on previous shows, where it's like, I don't think he's a great people manager, one. But I do think he's a great, would you say, what do I mean by that? I just, not just the substitutions he makes, not just the weird press conferences.
Yeah, those press conferences, man, never.
It's weird.
Like, people were backing him, saying like, "There's one thing about Maresca, he was always accountable." I'm like, if bouncing around it and trying to back yourself while being accountable is taking accountability, then sure.
He never really addressed stuff. And I will say probably one of the most interesting mind shifts that he did was the whole "we're not in a title race." And we were really dissecting that. We were like,
No, that was when things really were.
That was last December. And we were probably
and we were doing well.
We had a better first half of the season, but we were in pretty much the same place. I think we were at 30 points as opposed to what, 29 or something.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of weird because we were second. I think we were 3 or 4 off from the leaders and Liverpool at that point.
Right.
And it was like, I don't know, like, and at the time I was like, oh, this is great. He's managing expectations, blah, blah. But I honestly think he was just saying whatever he could. And I think, if we take that press conference kind of vision to what I think, obviously we're not in the locker room, but what I think he is doing in the locker room, I think it was probably a lot more of that, like just saying kind of weird stuff. Maybe it was motivational at the time, maybe it isn't. But
for sure. No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and I will say I've seen players come out and say, we're appreciative, blah, blah, blah. Nobody seems very sad in the locker room that Maresca's gone in either. Like I've seen.
It was interesting how the players felt about him per se.
Yeah.
Versus us as the fans. But I wanted to talk about a couple reasons for sacking, but I also don't think it's actually sacking. So I think we want to bring this to your attention.
Yeah.
This was a little bit self-inflicted in the sense of he wanted to leave. There were links with him talking to other clubs, but then saying, no, I'm devoted. It's just speculation when you're admitting to talking to the other clubs.
What are you talking to clubs for?
Exactly. Refusing interviews and comments and just not showing up for those. And it's recorded that he made 25 changes to the defense this season.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And he won manager of the month in November, but we've dropped 20 points from winning positions in the Premier League and the Champions League
this season. Absolutely. It's kind of gross. Like if you really look at the stats and so those are my two things. As a big game manager, I think he was one of the best and probably one of the best we'll have over the course of the next maybe decade. Like when it came down to playing PSG in a final, to playing Barcelona at home in the Champions League,
and Liverpool,
Liverpool, to playing Arsenal, it seemed like he made the right tactical adjustments and did those things. And though I really appreciate those, and a lot of those really got us trophies, and got him trophies. Long haul, it really didn't do much. I want to bring your attention to the first thing we both said at the beginning of this season. It was the episode 1 of Starter Bench, and we were like, which would you rather have, Premier League, Carabao Cup, Champions League? We said we wanted the Prem, and
for sure,
if that's the case, I don't think he's the right manager to get us the Prem. So that coupled with the fact that he left. Right, he left us in the.
I know, which means you're not getting paid out either. You're leaving on your own terms.
Yeah.
Which I want to go into this so players are, so our audience is aware of this. Chelsea has their own medical team, their own medical sector. So that means if they say a player can't play, a player cannot play.
They are completely separate from the team. It's not like the Jose Mourinho days. Remember Jose when he famously fired our head of medical staff because she was, keeping Eden Hazard off. It's completely the opposite. It seemed like Blueco had this independent, medical staff giving suggestions, but I think they were more like, absolutes to Maresca.
Yeah, exactly. They were absolutes. So there were disagreements with return to play that he felt like he wanted to do because this player was ready, but medical staff said no.
Yeah.
His relationship with Bahad Abali, I guess, was getting fractured and damaged as well. And there were it was a young team, and we saw that Poch actually was removed for requesting older, experienced players. The defensive errors and the squad rotation were probably some of the reason, but it doesn't seem like Chelsea was forcing him out per se. This was a decision he made on his own terms. He's like, I don't like where this is going. I don't like that I don't really have as much say as I would like. Right. So I'm going to go the other way.
And now you have the audacity to put pressure on me because I've only won 1 game in 7 games and I've dropped 15 points.
Right.
No, I'm leaving. Yeah, and that seems more like a,
Yeah, and now on the highlight side of this, so we've talked about this. On the highlights, we've got Club World Cup and UEFA. He's been our most successful most successful manager since Tuchel. He's got a 60% win rate
Yeah,
with 92 games, 55 won, 16 draws, and 21 losses.
that's a lot of
And if we're
losses.
looking at Chelsea's points per game, in our 23 to 24 season with Poch, it was 1.6 points per game expected. Under Maresca in last season, it was 1.8. And then we have this season at 1.5.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you're looking at the stats, he's been a good manager. Our
Mid.
mid, and then
That's mid.
our expected goal target this season under his management is 106 goals, which is close to Liverpool, which is at 106.2 goals.
Okay.
So
Where Liverpool, I swear Liverpool dropped, I think 5 games or 6 losses in a row during the season to put
right.
where they are, and they're still above us. But yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so based on those are great stats to kind of give us an idea that Poch has had not Poch. I'm sorry. Maresca's had a longer time than say a Poch. I want to say Poch that's maybe makes 200 and something games.
Yeah.
Versus Maresca's almost double that.
Mhm.
And he has kind of the same win percentage, like it's
Yeah, so I think that
trophies no less, but
yeah,
mid.
definitely. It looks like he was a good manager, and I don't think we can sit here. I can't sit here comfortably and say, "Oh, he was a bad manager." I do think his inexperience showed a lot, and I think if we are trying to make if we are going to try to continue with improving and fight for the title, which is something we want as fans, I think we need someone who is more experienced and is okay dealing with these younger players.
Now let's
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into this. Obviously, you had
Mhm.
mentioned Eggball and kind of Blueco's management. So we'll get into what that really means in a second. There is another side of this, which was the medical staff. I just kind of want to address all of the rumors I'm hearing because online, it's funny, it's a little bit different than what we're talking about. The rumblings are Maresca was fine. We need Blueco out and all of that.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
let's get into that too. Okay, so again, to
can we address that first rumor? Like
Mhm.
how much? And again, none of us know for sure. But if you're a manager and you're trying to pick teams, I want to say it was as bad as some of Maresca's team selections were made based on suggestions from management, from whomever, right? In order to keep certain players' transfer values relevant. That is a rumor. We cannot confirm or deny that. But
Which
could you see a
I
situation in which it's like, nah, we got to get Jamie Gittins on the field in this Champions League match? Or,
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I feel for Maresca, which we'll talk about what this looks like as a manager who now has to join Chelsea under Blueco. What does that look like? The micromanagement. I feel for Maresca because, I mean, if you have that level of micromanagement, which I totally believe, especially seeing how they just are selling.
Yeah, buying, selling.
Teams
have nothing to do with Maresca. Yeah, I agree.
100%. So I feel for him in the sense of like, I don't want to be in this environment. I want to go to a club that actually wants to win trophies and wants to let me coach and isn't worried about our profit as much and managing the wages each week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah.
I'll give him that as well. However, and that comes with a big however.
Mhm.
However, we did have a solid group of 22 guys. Granted, we do have some injuries.
Hear me out. Yeah.
But you had enough to pick from to make selections. And if we lose 2 games in a row or drop points in multiple games, then you go back to the people who are giving you these suggestions. Play Gittins, play Tosin, whoever they were telling him to play. I can't imagine somebody's telling him to play any of those center backs.
No. I can't imagine that. And you know what I was thinking, which I was going to talk about a little later, but I wanted to bring up now. Because I was talking with a friend the other day, and we're talking about our team and like what we need. I don't know which team he supports. But we have Enzo, we have Caicedo, we have Cucurella, we have James, we have Palmer, we have Estevao, we have Sanchez, Also put Neto in that conversation.
Yep.
We have a capable team.
That's a core.
We do have a core. So I think,
Yeah.
again, something can be said about the manager when you do have a core, because you'll see the videos on like YouTube and they'll be like, okay, Arsenal versus Chelsea, Reece James, Caicedo, and they'll be like, one here, this and that. If you're going Chelsea band for band with other teams, it's going to be even. If not, we have the better squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's an argument. Okay, if we actually do have these players, which granted, yes, we do have younger players, but these players, the Sanchez is 26, which again is young. Kukurea is 26 as well. James is 26. Older, I know, not old, but it begs to argue, like, okay, is this really about the fact that we don't have super experienced players?
Right.
Because
Right.
if you look at another team, even like Man City right now, I mean, with Guardiola, players like that, they've played just as much as someone like Reece James and stuff. So I think an
Agreed.
argument could be said about the manager and his management.
Yeah. I mean, this team beat the best team in Europe.
Exactly.
Like, period.
Exactly.
This team, aside from Colwell, who's now out injured, is the whole team. That was the team that beat. And I can't remember if they were missing any players, but it didn't seem like much. They had Dembele, maybe Doué was off. They had Kvaratskhelia. That beat the number one team in Europe, the Champions League winners,
capable.
the Ballon d'Or holder.
Yeah, he's capable. And I felt like he was, saying that, oh, this inconsistency is a part of football. It's because they're young. And okay, but like, I don't know how long that excuse was.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't like the timing of Maresca being out.
Agreed.
I am okay with him being out, but I have bad news for Chelsea fans regarding Blueco. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, Blueco took over Chelsea in 2022.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they had finished in third under the Abramovich era. They finished in third.
That's right. With Tuchel, that was year one or first half year with Tuchel, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then in 2020,
we'd also won the Champions League, by the way. I think that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then Blueco takes over 2022 to 2023 season. We finished in 12th. Fire manager. Okay, 23 to 24, we finish in 6th. 24 to 25, we finish in 4th. So that would be an improvement. So Maresca improved the squad.
Right.
But this is something this is really the tea about Blueco is they're micromanaging. They're gonna buy young players. They're not gonna buy any older players. So we're not gonna get that experience on the field. Yeah. They're more focused on future sales versus winning.
Yeah.
They've got a project in mind of like, this is what we want to do. But within that project, there's no talks of winning the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, we've even seen them come out and say that certain competitions like the Carabao Cup are not important and things like that. And it's funny. I agree, but the Blueco, the time to be upset and incensed by Blueco was 2022, like you said. You said, we had finished third in the Prem. We had won the Champions League just before that with Tuchel, and we took a bunch of kids to do that, right? It was Mason Mount, it was Kai Havertz, it was essentially the same type of team in that, an unproven.
Those are my same thoughts.
Yeah.
Those are my same thoughts because I am having trouble with. I understand us not wanting to buy young players, this and that. But if we go band for band, looking at that team that won the Champions League to now, guys, there's really not.
We're better. We're actually a better team.
End goal.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So in my head, I'm saying, wait, you guys don't think we have better players than Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz? Like, so I just think that
Conor Gallagher, yes.
So I think we have, and it's also important to note that we've bought Enzo, we've bought Caicedo, we've bought Sanchez, we've bought Palmer, and we bought Estebao all under Blueco. Again, I don't want to be that odd Chelsea fan that's like backing Blueco because obviously I see their holes.
Right.
We have made major improvements. I understand the desire for experienced players, but these players we just listed off are our core, and I think are comparable to other teams in the league right
and
now.
top players around the world.
And top
Like,
players.
these are big names around the world.
These are
And
big names. Exactly.
that's my point. Like, we've had to make our peace with Blue Co over these last couple of years, and I was like, all right, this is not Abramovich era. It seems a little different, and it was very bumpy to start. Obviously, they got rid of my favorite coach, Tuchel. Then they brought in Potter, which I was willing to. It was those were bad years for me. Potter and Poch were the bad years. Now Maresca's come. It seems a little stable. We've won trophies now, big time, big game wins. And so now it's like, all right, we're getting back to the Chelsea thing. One thing I also know as a Chelsea fan, whether you're in the Blue Co area, the Abramovich era, we are a win now club. So I'm hoping that Blue Co is keeping that in mind despite their new financial strategies.
Yeah, hear me out. We are Chelsea's legacy. Chelsea's heritage is win now.
And fire your coach to do it. Fire your manager to win now. Yes.
But Roman Abramovich, he demanded success from his managers and gave the managers what they asked for. So if they needed the superstar, he gave them that.
That's true.
The unfortunate thing is Blue Co isn't going to do that.
We're not
the days of Chelsea, this is what I read in an article. The days of Chelsea hiring the cream of coaching are firmly in the past.
So that too. So like all the thoughts about getting Mourinho back and getting all this and these managers who are great, again, great people manager. But Mourinho is one of the best people managers, one of the biggest egos, but also ego managers. But also wants things his way.
Manager.
I don't either.
That's legacy. That's heritage. That's what Chelsea needs.
Yeah,
but
we're not getting that.
Yes. So I want to manage our expectations on that. And
we're
also, I think the frustration from fans, even myself, is like putting business over football and rejecting offers for older people. Like at the end of the day, we're not going to, I'm just throwing his name out there. I'm not saying we need him, but we're not going to sign like a Danny Welbeck.
Okay.
Nor do we necessarily need him, but we're not.
I thought you were going to say like Mark Gahey at least or somebody, but yes.
We're not signing players who are over 30, which
definitely not over 30. I don't even think we're signing players over 26 at this point.
Yeah, which I think that experience on the back line could be really helpful, especially as a center back, maybe as a striker too. So I can understand our frustrations, but if I'm being radically honest with how the game is today, the average like size of players, things like that, things to consider.
Yeah.
We have a good squad.
We definitely.
What are you going to do with it? Where are you going to play these? I think we have a great squad. How are you going to use them? And I think Maresca, in my opinion, just messed up on some games and he just didn't use our players correctly.
I agree. And it's something that I guess Maresca is going to have to think about. He can feel butthurt all he wants. But again,
walking away getting no pay. Like,
he's the one walking away. You know, obviously there's a future out there for him. There's links to Man City next year after Pep leaves.
Like,
he's already announced.
Walking away with no pay. You really?
I mean, that's crazy, and that's just not that's not proper Chelsea either. You know what I mean? When I think about some managers who have just taken that L and gotten sacked, Pochettino, I think we're still paying Pochettino. Maybe he's done finally. Right. Andre Villas-Boas. Man, we paid him for like 10 years. I'm not going to lie. Like, we paid him forever after he left. And funny enough, we got rid of him, and Di Matteo, our interim manager, took us to our first Champions League. So even that thought process of getting rid of managers mid-season, like, we can't blame Blue Co. That's football heritage. That's Chelsea DNA. We've done that, and we've still done well. Matter of fact, both Champions League came in times of turmoil where we'd had to fire the coach mid-season, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
That's exactly how Thomas Tuchel came into the game. He came into the gig, you know, and fought for third place, and then got us a Champions League, then fought for third place. One of the, you know. So
I'm excited to see our players play. Like, I kind of am like, okay, cool. I don't have to see something overcomplicated. Can we get a consistent lineup? That would be nice.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any sort of way about Maresca being out. I think the fan base and certain like creators need to like establish your actual opinions on a manager and don't go back and forth like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm seeing some creators, they're just like, I always wanted him sacked. And it's like, no, you were just
Nah,
sacking him a month ago. Like,
right.
let's
We all were. He was literally coach of the month last month. Like
right, right.
and so I will give us that, and especially you that, because you have been consistent. You know what I mean? You have been like questioning Maresca, and then finally we've gotten to this point. I guess my question about Blueco is, are you questioning Blueco? Are you, do you have an issue, a bone to pick with Bowley or Eggball or any of the other
I forgot to
investors?
bring this up.
Yeah.
The Chelsea fans in the UK,
Yep.
they've organized a
Soft
protest.
protest. Yep.
They've organized a protest for January 17th at 1 p.m. if you
Wow.
guys want to attend.
Yeah. Our North
You guys want
London,
to
our
make your way
London.
to London. What they are saying, the reality, we've had a record spending, squad instability, failed strategy, managerial chaos. What we demand is clear accountability and micromanagement culture, flexibility over volume, reduce youth heavy recruitment, uh,
Mm,
board stability, consistent leadership, uh,
mm,
proper manager support, qualified managers who are backed and not scapegoated.
mm. That
Um,
one you'll
champion-
never get. Not in
championship
2026.
ambition. A Chelsea that competes seriously in the Premier League and Champions League. Chelsea is not a development project. Chelsea is not a resale platform. Chelsea is built to compete at the highest level. This protest is about standards, ambition, and the future of our club. We
I'm
want better.
I'm not mad at that at all. I think most
Mhm.
of those points I agree with.
Mhm.
It's not, Glazers out kind of vibes. It's not too melodramatic, but
Mariska
it is.
isn't being scapegoated. Let's talk about the reality.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, none. Like we're not scared. We demand excellence,
Yeah,
and quite frankly, had Maresca not walked away, if we had gotten smacked by City this weekend, it
right.
would have had to have been a serious question. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
would have had to been like, okay, now that's 8 games, no wins. What are we
Mhm.
what are we doing? Why are we rolling with you, Maresca? And so
Yeah.
that's important. Now the other stuff I agree with as well. Like I am totally fine with the Blue Co kind of project. I know it's not the most it's not what you want as a fan of a club that is just trying to win, but in the grand scheme of things, it is also a business. We
I
have one of
hate that.
I know, but we have one of the
I
best
don't love it.
youth development systems in the world, and so all we're really trying to do is just bring in players before they become the Drogbas or the Lampards or even the Enzos and the Caicedos, right? We're trying to these players prices are just inflated. Like nowhere on earth, and you'll hear me. I've always said this. Should Enzo Fernandez have cost 150 million? They're like nowhere. You know what I mean? So
Play in the
I
World Cup, like,
understand the
let's
business
go.
of it, trying to get ahead of it and get an Esteval and put him on the payroll for 7 years. My issue is though, when you have core players like you named,
Mhm.
and I know you're gonna roll your eyes, but then you kind of do some weirdo stuff with Nicholas Jackson.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Or I'll even step back a second. Pochettino is wanting proper center backs. He wants to get rid of Trevor Chalobah. Blueco is telling him he's got to. They got
okay,
no.
but let's also remember Trevor Chalobah, he was not on this list I listed.
Listen, and we will get to that.
Not there.
But just the back and forth.
Okay, yeah, which is where I agree with them saying we demand clear accountability.
Clear accountability. Like, all right, if you say like, you know what, we've been looking to get rid of Nicholas Jackson, just make it more transparent.
For
Allow
sure.
Nicholas Jackson to
Yeah,
hear it, and maybe he can renegotiate or do something to be like, all
and
right,
don't
I
call him
promise.
back when Liam
Yeah,
Delap gets
I
hurt.
promise I'll score 10 goals. And if you want to send me
Right,
on loan, that's fine. But
right.
like, don't do this like sneak, get him out of here because we got
Uh-huh.
Delap and Pedro coming. And then it's like, oh shit, Delap's hurt. Let's sneak, get him back. Like I would have done the same thing. Now, did
Yeah,
that
that
help
was
Nicholas?
sus.
I don't
That was
know, but
really sus.
it's hella sus. The Trevor Chalobah one last year was hella sus. Like I'm sick of that sus shit. So yes, I agree with
Yeah,
that as well. So a
and
lot
the
of those demands.
championship ambition, because these managers have made it very clear, and even to Maresca, like, no, like it's fine, like we can just like these type of games like aren't really no.
No.
we're proper Chels. We want to win.
We want to win games.
We also want the superstars like Roman brought us, the
Right.
Drogbas. Like we just
Right.
we loved that era. We want some of it back.
And but it's funny, we have enough on our team. Like technically,
yeah.
that's Cole Palmer. Technically, that's Esteval. That's
Yeah.
two, which
And
I
the
think
game
in
has
this
changed.
era,
Players have changed, even physically. Players have changed, just the style of play. So I think part of us as fans, we have to adapt to this new era of football, and
we got to adapt to 18-year-olds being some of the best players in the world. Like we just have to adapt to that. That was not the case.
We're just in a rebuilding, so it's gonna be a bit.
It should be a bit. Yeah. Speaking of rebuilding,
manager.
Like, who do we rebuild with? Who can take on this project? Which is, it's funny you use the word rebuild because I actually wouldn't. This is a project, yes, but again, we have so much already on our resume with this team and such high pedigree, and we've had a horrible first half to the season, and we're sitting in 5th. We're not in 13th place.
The Premier League is mad. Like
Premier League is mad.
How is that possible?
Now, granted, we are 15 points off the top. We're 15 points off 10 points off a third. But I mean, we're not. This is not the end of the world. We can still make Champions League. There's still opportunities to climb all the way up the ladder if we just get it right. So, what kind of coach do you think? And again, you guys, this is interactive. You guys can participate. Use the instructions down below if you want to. It's minty.com, and there'll be a code you can type in. It's very simple. But here's a short list. This is actually a short list you gave me, Alexis, of who you have seen so far have been, highlighted as the top coaching options. Oh, I do not have. I'm sorry. I'm going to put the instructions to log in at the bottom right here. Minty.com. You can use code 23391669. Come participate. You can tell us what coach you're going. Roberto De Zerbi. No, you're going Xavi. Is that you? Who typed Xavi or somebody else?
It is me.
Oh,
I think my style of manager is. I wish I liked delayed gratification a bit more. I need someone who's just wants to win and is just the best team out. And I mean, if I'm looking at. I kind of made some notes. So
give me what
Liam, he's 7th in League One. They're congratulating him for moving up. Strasbourg's our sister club. He has this high intensity pressing, attacking possession football style. But if we thought Maresca liked to move people around, supposedly Liam's worse. I guess he once played Delap as a right winger. So me personally, I really don't want someone who's moving players out of position. I would love to see little changes, like being certain in, actually I prefer Cole playing on the right, something like that, little things like that. But I don't want to see Malo Gusto as a left back, which is something that happened the last game, which we might talk about.
Yeah, that was weird. That
was sus.
That was a little sus, especially based on everything that was going on.
I know.
You take out Josh, and then it just didn't make sense. But whatever, we'll get to that. I saw homie Josh. He tapped in. He said Fabregas would be cool. I think that would be. I don't know enough about Liam Rosenwar. I honestly know that Strasbourg has done a lot better under his tutelage as of late. I also know Andre Santos had a career year in Strasbourg, but that's Liga. It's a different monster.
And what is Santos gonna get more minutes now? We don't.
And that would mean Santos gets more minutes. Maybe it means that the midfield does change into that kind of 3 in the midfield that we were talking about with 1-6 in Caicedo, and then 2 kind of box to boxes in a Santos and Enzo, which would actually suit Enzo a lot, I would think. But then that kind of moves out the free-flowing 10 that we have in Cole Palmer. It's a really tough one to do. Fabregas is I'll just speak on Fabregas, and then we can talk about De Zerbi and Rosenwar a little bit more. Well, and actually, let me address your Xavi thing for a second, just so I can throw my 2 cents out there.
He also won La Liga.
He did win La Liga his first time around too. Shout out
He
Xavi.
gives players freedom to dribble and create.
Whatever that means, because I don't remember any freedom for the current Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele. I've never seen him so injured. And I can't necessarily blame the coach for that, but I mean, there
This
are
wasn't his
reasons that
time.
Xavi had a team. You know, he had ballers. He had Aubameyang. He had Memphis
Yeah.
playing. Obviously, those aren't the top. He wanted to get Lewandowski. That's fine, but to just that thought process of kind of, you know, just overlooking two really good strikers to bring in a legendary striker who's old, and now look at Lewandowski. Anyway, let me not go too far on that. I think
He's always
Xavi,
going to be a legend, though.
he's
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski is always going to be a legend, and Xavi's always going to be a legend, and that La Masia style of play will always be legendary. That is not how we do it at Cabo. Like I would not want to see 2.5 years of excuses at the press and ticky-tock football. Like, I do not want to see that out of us. I'm sorry. We have too many free creative players for that. I think, you know, maybe it would work against big teams, and in Europe, much like Maresca's style, we slow it down heavily against big teams. That's the only thing I'm a little annoyed about Maresca walking away. I would have liked to see him manage us against City, just to see that, you know, again, big game coaching come out, and then allow some new coach to, but we just don't have it like that.
I just think the timing of this just was not appropriate, which also, I'm going to bring up our manager this weekend will be the U21s Chelsea coach.
So is that who he is? McFarlane.
Yes, he's the U20 Callum. He's the U21s.
Okay. So who is John Terry coach? Is he like the even deeper into the youth? And you don't have to look it up. We can look it up together. But I know John Terry is,
I don't know,
in the Chelsea youth sides. Maybe he's coaching the U16s or whatever. I know he's not on any short list, and absolutely not. I would not want to bring up John Terry to come and coach this team, even though they are a bunch of youngsters. And he's a legend. But no, the reason I would select Fabregas is because the man knows the club inside and out. The man has, you know, the experience of La Masia and all of that, you know, championship pedigree that Barcelona brought you, but you also left La Masia at 16 because you knew what was up. You were better than probably half of those players there, but they were all glazing Xavis and Iniestas, whatever. So you went and made something of yourself under another great young managing coach, Arsene Wenger. So you know what to do with young players. You did okay at Monaco, again, managing a slew of younger players. You've done pretty well at Como. That would be interesting. I think he would be ready, but I don't think it's happening. I think Rosenwar is far and by far, I guess, our top choice. Half of the reason is because he is already a manager of a Blue Co property in Strasbourg. And I hear that he's, you know, I've seen some clips of him online. I've seen him show that passion, like, you know, maybe he can do better, you know, communicating with the young guys. Andre Santos loves him.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I did see that, and I did like that. But then when I kind of saw his experience, I was just like,
I'm with you.
I don't know. I was like, I don't think this is an improvement, and I think we would want an improvement.
Certainly not an improvement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But again, was Di Matteo an improvement? No, but, you know, he got us over the line, got us to Champions League, and then we kind of went and found another manager.
We have good enough players. We just need
good selection, and
exactly, like, we need to be okay with that. Like, I see a bunch of fans going off, and it's like, okay, yes, we do want that striker, but hey, let's look at the Premier League as it stands right now. Even Arsenal with Victor Gyökeres, who had crazy amount of goals at Sporting, is just mid right now.
Absolutely.
And they are doing fantastic without a striker. Granted, they do have really good center backs.
Right.
So yes, I can see how we're missing a couple key points, but everybody is fussing about our winger situation, this and that. And I'm like, guys, we just need to think with our heads and see
play our best team. Put our best team out there. Starting with the center backs.
And it's like, okay, so now we have a problem with our players if we're winning against Barcelona, Liverpool, and PSG.
There's no way.
Now we don't have good enough players, but when we win those games, we do.
And funny enough, the players that are playing against Villa aren't the same players in the same positions playing against Barcelona. So like, what are we doing?
Exactly. So
You
I
know?
just think it's like I can understand if we were getting smacked up by those teams like what 3 years ago, 2 years ago, losing like 5-1 to Arsenal. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about that. But it's like, okay, if we're capable of beating these teams, that means we have the personnel. So I don't know if this really needs to be a huge combo of players that we don't have right now.
Right. And I get it. Again, I am fully inclined to believe that there was a bunch of micromanaging going on. Even before
Mhm.
Maresca was sacked, we had heard reports that he had like some kind of like status report per game that he would
Mhm.
have to like adhere to, where the board was like measuring his I don't know, his substitutions, his work. But at the end of the day, and I don't care how many times that you're going to need to rotate players, you want to keep players fresh, to have 25 different substitutions. And what week are we in? We're in
Yeah,
only
it says he's made 25 changes to the
to the
defense,
back line.
to the back line. That's not even everything else. And
Right. We don't
I
got
guess
25 players. We don't got 25 injuries like
and
that.
we don't really know the insides, like, oh, you can't play this player because then they're transfer minded. So it's like we don't know
We don't know
all of
all
these
the in and
things.
outs.
I guess we'll learn more when this new manager comes in to see if we are seeing those same tweaks, because then we can actually I think when this new manager comes in and really seeing how we do the rest of this season will tell us a bit more about Blueco, about all these things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, getting a
Yeah.
serious manager, if they're being micromanaged, it's going to be like, oh, thanks for the opportunity, but no, I'm good.
Right. Right. Which is probably another reason, a nod to Liam Rosenwar, who this would be the by far the biggest,
Yeah,
biggest name on his resume, and so he's going to
right,
take this job regardless.
right.
But again, all we need you to do is just motivate the players and make good team selections. That's it. And
Pretty
just
much.
let them go. We have enough of a coaching staff. We have enough
We
of a
play
trainer.
really good football. We
Yeah, we do.
really do. When we're on it, I don't even want to say when we're keeping possession, but like when we're putting 100% energy in the first 20 minutes of the game, we play really good football. We've
Yeah.
got the vision. Again, those deep passes that we talk about Enza doing all the time. Encourage the players, good player selection is actually all we need.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about some of the greatest goals we scored anyway, they were individual goals. like
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
this wasn't overly tacticized to the
No.
point. The only thing that I think Maresca's tactics really worked well for was absorbing pressure and playing out of pressure. And
Yeah.
so we have that, and we did that with Tuchel too. So I know that leaders like Reece James on the field, Enzo Fernandez on the field, even
Yeah.
Bob Sanchez on the field can kind of do that. So I'm hoping we get a little bit of that. Instead of picking a team to play
Okay.
against City, like here's the thing: we're gonna just need to bring our best and
Right.
brightest.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to see what Callum does. Obviously, he knows the team well enough. He'll select whoever he needs to select, and he's going to say, go out there and play. But instead of that, I decided because this is kind of a reset. And usually when you lose a coach, it ends up being a kind of a delightful reset for players in a way.
Right. You get like the second chance.
You get a second chance. You get different kind of energy. And again, this is about form. This is about keeping players. So instead of selecting the center backs you want to see, I'm curious to see what people would think about the players who would be the most benefiting from having some new blood around here. I think Tosin had kind of really fallen off the pecking order, so he could probably benefit anyway. But is he the right one?
I'm so curious if it's actually true that like the medical staff really restricts. I'm just gonna act like maybe that's not in the picture and choose based on that.
Yeah.
I feel like hopefully again we have a manager who doesn't really want to mix things up too much.
Yeah.
That I feel like Chalaba and Fofana would benefit knowing that, oh, we're gonna be the pairing.
We're gonna be the starters.
Chemistry the rest of the season.
I agree with you on that note. I chose Achampong as well.
I just don't know where he'll fit in. There's no knock on his talent for sure. But
for sure. I think I'm hoping that he does, he is that right back. So games and if and when Reece James needs a rest, we're gonna have a couple of games coming hard and fast. I do think he will be entrusted with that right back. I think Malo Gusto, it's going to be tough for him. I don't think he's going to benefit from this, as a matter of fact, because
That's a good point.
yeah, and I'm worried a little bit about Cucurella too. Obviously, Cucurella has established himself as honestly a top left back in Europe.
Yeah, 100%.
But that inverted style very much helped his game.
That is true, and with Gusto as well.
That's what I mean. Like Gusto,
inverted actually highlighted his attributes.
His good attributes. You can get up and down the field. You can come and clog up the midfield and then recover back because you have that speed to recover. So
if you're just going to look at him as a right back, then he's probably not going to benefit.
I don't think so. And so maybe Hato and Achampong do benefit because of that. I don't really remember seeing a lot of just defensive acumen from Hato, but Achampong definitely. Like he has a chance to slot in when the Fofanas go down inevitably with injuries, or Chalobah, makes a mistake and maybe is on a yellow when we don't need him to. And so we'll see. So we have a couple of those coming up. I think, namely, let's switch over to the midfield as well. I think that's an important one too. Like, do you expect to see any more Facundo Buonotte, or are we going to really hammer down and it's going to be Caicedo and Enzo, our 120, $150 million players, and then Cole Palmer kind of running that 10.
Yeah,
I think Cole definitely is going to benefit. I think he would have benefited regardless, but it's a little bit of him coming back from injury, mixed with some new blood, some new freedom to kind of do what he does best.
So I could even see, depending on the manager's style, because I'm looking at Man City, they play a 4-3-2-1. I could even see, depending on the manager that comes in, putting Enzo and Palmer. I could see that, depending on who the manager is.
So that's like a dual 10 in a way?
I think that's what City does. And then right under them, they've got Foden and Silva, who will run up on the sides.
Okay. Yeah.
I could see that. You never know. You get a new manager, they might change formations.
Yeah. Now, are you talking about for City, or are you talking about in the future when we have
I'm talking about in the future.
Okay. Yeah.
A new manager might put Enzo higher up on the field.
Enzo belongs higher up on the field. So you're right.
With his pace and his other attributes. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that would be interesting. I think if I'm thinking Liam Rosenwar as well, I'm thinking Santos definitely is going to benefit. So I think but Santos and Enzo Fernandez will definitely see probably some of the best benefits from whoever, but most importantly, Liam Rosenwar.
I saw a potential setup if Liam is coach. Let me find it.
Ooh.
I screenshotted some of it, but I didn't get the whole thing. So let me see if I can find it.
But that was at Strasbourg, because I remember watching Santos and being so impressed with him. They played a 3 in the middle. It was kind of diamond with 1-6.
Yeah.
He played one of the 8s that were going forward, and he scored 10 goals, 13 goals, something like that.
So let me just screenshot this, and I'll kind of show what potentially it could look like if Liam was our manager.
Okay.
I'll show this kind of on the screen. It would look like, let's see, can we see this?
Yeah, that's like a 4 diamond 4-4-2. Yeah.
Right. And then having almost 2 9s if Liam were to play. That does look interesting. So looking I
wouldn't be mad at that. I'm a little worried about Reece James playing right back in a system like that. It's
interesting because it put this guy put Pedro and Esteval up top with Palmer under.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Really
I don't hate it. I mean,
know.
we know Esteval through the middle, through the right. It doesn't matter. He just, he's a very tight space player. I'm
excited to see how the next manager will use our players. Because as we've been talking, I just think it's been I don't want to say misuse, because again, if all this other stuff is going on behind the scenes, then we really don't know.
Yeah. I just want to highlight Des EFC says Rosenwar, next Chelsea manager, will be a disaster waiting to happen. Ex-clubs include Derby, Hull, And don't forget he's a former Brighton player. We just love Brighton so much, Chelsea. We just, everything is just.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't want that. And then I think what upsets the fans is it's like, oh, okay, going for a manager like Liam, you're pretty much telling us you don't want to win the Premier League. And that's
Right.
what we want as Chelsea fans.
All we want.
Heritage.
That's what's crazy. It's like, I think we do have a better chance even with Maresca, we had a better chance in the Champions League. But it's like, you know, as much as I would want to win that as well, like I want to be prem sound, and we're nowhere near that.
Yeah.
That's why Fabregas would just kind of like, damn, now suddenly Fabregas makes too much sense in my head, and now it's gonna
scary because Liam looks
we're not getting him
in the race, and that is like Chelsea fans. I could imagine this protest going well, depending on who. Yeah.
But it just
serious.
But to that point, again, I can't see anybody but Liam coming in as coach, and so we're gonna at least have to give him 6 months to a year. Maybe if it is 6 months and we see very quickly, but I don't want to see
maybe it'll be shorter if he doesn't do well.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I would rather have interim for the rest of this year, let the players figure it out, and then we'll figure it out.
I see Des was talking about, he made a comment about Oliver Glasner. No, that's definitely someone like
we've talked about them, right?
He's not coming. He's not leaving Palace.
He's not leaving Palace. I don't think Roberto Mancini is an interesting one. I don't know where he is right now. Is he in like Turkey or something? Or I would have to look that one up, because Mancini would be an interesting one. I haven't even thought about, you know, coaches outside of kind of the Prem and these fringe leagues, but
is he?
Yeah. I mean, last he was coaching was like Napoli, and then I can't remember where he went after that. So that would be an interesting one. Again, it doesn't seem like that's Blueco's MO. Like, we want to get more young coaches that are just as moldable as the players. Maybe because it's easier to implement this third party medical staff and their suggestions into the lineups and
right.
But yeah,
honestly, fans, like especially in Europe, they are serious. They will boycott you if they don't like something. They will not be buying merch. They will do this and that. So it's like you're gonna have to budge in some sort of way, you know.
And Chelsea is a global club, and again, globally, I don't think, you know, we are gonna be. There probably will be a lot upset about Maresca's departure, but not to the point where we're going crazy, because again, we're Chelsea fans. We're used to this. We expect managers to, you know, if you're a Chelsea fan, you know, don't get used to a manager, even if he's great. Jose Mourinho, one of the greatest, you know, like in and out. Antonio Conte, what a weird, sour way for him to leave the club. Like, we're used to it. So yeah, it's just something we're gonna have to get used to, and I just hope the players respond to this kind of
I know. I do feel for the players. Like, this is not desirable at all.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna throw a lineup out there as our last one. Maybe we don't even need to worry about building a lineup. But
and also Des is mentioning that Oliver Glasner is leaving Palace at the end of the season. Fabrizio Romano confirmed yesterday. Yeah,
that makes this timing worse for us. You know?
Yeah, I was actually going to say that's actually worse, because it doesn't look like we're trying to hire someone temporarily. It looks like we're going to be hiring someone permanent, and this is going to be like a week's thing. This is going to be like soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's tough. Well, let me put you on as our last little thing to the lineup you and I built. I want to say we built it a couple of weeks ago when we were thinking about Maresca, and we were just like, play our best 11. Just please, for the love of God, play our best 11. I think this is what we came up with. We kind of bounced it around with Garnacho, but I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, definitely after seeing Esteval, which definitely let's give him a shout.
Oh my God. Again, it was like night and day when he got back on the field. It was like, wait a minute. Esteval just needs to play
in the box.
You're right.
As opposed to just crossing, he cuts and he takes on it, and if anything, winning us a penalty.
Amazing.
Yeah, really refreshing to see. Great talent, great talent. So again, as Chelsea fans, we need to acknowledge this. That is great talent on the wing, in my opinion.
James and Cucurella on the wing backs. I think we're pretty set with that, right? Like you're okay to see.
Yeah,
that kind of style.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then and Chalobah and Fofana right now are our best center backs, and so I
Yeah,
think
agreed.
they need to play.
And
So
then playing Badia Shield, that was last game,
what?
right?
Like, I just don't understand. That's kind of the thing with the Maresca. It was just kind of you, Maresca, please come out and tell us now that you've walked away. All the NDAs can't have to be null and void because you're not getting paid anymore. Come
Right.
out and say like, nah, they made me play Badia Shield. Like
Exactly. This way we can like not be on you.
completely just mentally like, okay, now we know that Blueco is at the helm and we have to be prepared for that. But like, again, he put out a lineup very close to this. I think it was, instead of Neto starting, it was Garnacho and Estevao. Liam Delap started up top. But then again, you put Badia Shield with Chalaba, and it was just like, what?
And then when Gusto hopped on the left, that just like
Yeah, that was weird too.
made me so
We
frustrated.
had already gone down 2 goals, and then we'd come back. It's just it didn't make sense. Not to mention, Badia Shield was the direct reason we got scored on that first goal. He gave away the ball. Yeah. And I'm with you. And again, like maybe there's some different coaching tactics that can really work in Tosin and Badia Shield to
No.
But again, to your point, I don't want to see that. I know we got a long season. I know we're in all competitions still. That's another thing. We got a semifinal in the Carabao Cup coming up.
Right. Like we're kind of in here,
we're in here. Like
going in 5th place after being so mid is crazy.
So mid is crazy. That's just a credit to our players and the craziness of the Prem. But this team, I think, is the team that has to be playing week in and week out, particularly the back line.
Yeah,
we'll see what they do.
We've got to get him more minutes at this point.
Yeah, I know.
And make sure whoever's behind him can defend, because Estevao, of course, is going to try his flair, his trick. So it's like,
yeah, he'll lose the ball, and there needs to be an Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, James kind of.
But moral of the story, I am okay with Maresca.
You're done. You're all good. You're okay.
I've been.
Thanks for the memories, Maresca.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But of course, depending on who we get, is it really going to have to be, dang, I wish Maresca was back? It seems like all these managers seem to back him. Pep speaks quite highly of him. So who knows? Maybe it was Chelsea that wasn't treating him properly.
I just think the last 3 or 4 weeks really kind of really became telling that the relationship was tarnishing, and Maresca was not doing anything to help it. And like
after we won, and him saying that it was the hardest 48 hours, that told me, I was like, oh, he won't be here long.
Yeah, you're right. And again, we've seen a couple too many of these very interesting interactions publicly, where it's just kind of like, it does make you think, like, is Maresca in the right headspace to really like do this? Like, this is a tough task. You have to manage and win at a club that is ever demanding.
Yep.
But will not sign any super marquee players anymore.
Yeah, you got to feel for him. You got to feel for the guy.
And give you a bloated roster. It's tough. It's a tough position to be in. So if Liam, like, obviously, like, you're gonna do it anyway if you get given the job. But like, it's like, I want you to really think about that. This is something that you're gonna have to. Now we know it doesn't matter. Again, when I look at Andres Villas-Boas, I look at Contes of the world, the Pochettinos of the world. Regardless of what happens and how good or bad you do, this is a step up, and you will fail upwards from now on. That's what happens when you get put in these positions. But I'm just hoping that it ends up pretty.
I feel like Chelsea's over here giving people chances. Like, what is this about? Major football club giving people handouts.
Dreams FC, man.
Right. Dreams FC.
Badia Shield here. Here's another turn. Come on.
Dreams FC for real.
Dreams
just handing it out. Maybe I can be the first female manager for Chelsea.
Right. I mean, shit. I'm sure you can get on the pitch. I'm sure at this point you might, talk to your agent, see what they'll do over a 10-year contract.
Dreams FC.
Dreams FC
is crazy.
We got a lot of dreams. So realistically, and again, obviously it's a bigger story. Obviously, this is going to be about Maresca for some weeks, but we do have Man City. We are sitting at 5th place, tied with Man United somehow. They gave Wolves their 3rd point of the year this past week, by the way. And I've got United fans in my mentions talking about, we're the same. We got the same point. Like, we still need a win.
You and I are not the same.
We are not the same. I'm
Well,
sorry.
people were like, Maresca being fired before Amarin is crazy.
Nuts. And it is nuts. But that's what gives me hope about our club. That's what
Right.
gives me hope.
Right.
Y'all can keep Amarin and keep doing that weird dance. Man, finally switched to a back four to everybody's excitement, only to drop points to Wolves. 2 points all season. It's crazy. So with this team, and I can show you, the kind of firepower we'll be up against. Do you think we have a chance in hell right now against Manchester City? That's what I want to know. And you said it right. Remember when you told me Aston Villa 2-2, and I was like, nah, we got to keep a clean sheet. And it was like, nah.
No, this is gonna be a hard game.
Holland, Foden, Doku, Cherky. We can
No,
expect.
they're in form too. They are definitely in.
They are in form. Now, granted, they just tied Sunderland.
Yeah, but
So,
Sunderland seems very serious.
and
Like
Sunderland is very serious,
Sunderland's
right?
in 7th place. We no longer are thinking of them as a team
To
that was
walk over. Yeah.
relegated, this and that. No, it looks like they're gonna be in the Premier League probably for another year for sure.
Yeah.
They're in
Yeah.
7th.
No, they're in 7. I mean, to like, obviously, it's very impressive what they've done to come into the Prem, and then
They have a
do
very
what
good
they've
squad
done.
too. They're very physical. They're able to meet the demands. They're fit. And they're a hard team to play against.
Yeah.
This game, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout for sure. No, our players, I don't think will take that. But
No.
I mean, seeing how we've started games like Newcastle, seeing how we did against Aston Villa, that's with Maresca.
Yeah.
I don't think this is gonna be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be 5-0 though. People are crazy.
So you're accepting an L for.
I don't want to say it like that. But I mean, if the U21s coach is managing this game,
I think again, it comes down to, even from his perspective, it comes down to the initial team selection, which I'm hoping he brings out something similar to what we've decided we want over here, or similar to the team that came out against Barcelona, which would include Reece James in the midfield.
And supposedly, which we're not surprised by this, Reece James shows incredible leadership on the pitch and practices. So if that's the case, I think we're going to be heavily reliant on our players. And
Cole Palmer, you better drink your juices.
Cole Palmer needs to
and again.
You need to put him in the freezer for a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to cool off.
Cold.
He needs to cool off. Esteval, he's got to start, and we know we can depend on him.
Yeah, for sure.
Pedro Neto, I think's got to start. We're not
going to let ourselves get run over. We're not.
We're Chelsea. We're like we're like at the very end of the day, even with all these young players, and all this money we've spent, the money is for a reason. These are great players worldwide.
They are great players, and I think we just need to. Like, I don't know if I agree with the protests, them being like the money spent.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, all these other teams want Caicedo and Enzo?
Exactly. And again, Caicedo and Enzo were 2 years ago. All this money we've spent.
Values increased. He was
Palmer's only increased. Absolutely. And Esteval, obviously, he's in. Shoot, Cucurella. Like, if we think about a lot of our core players.
I know. Yeah.
Like Bob Sanchez, everybody.
Yeah, everybody's value has increased, but some might argue that they've been increased because of Maresca. I don't know.
Some could argue that, and I think it's a good argument. But regardless, the players are the players, and they're going to have to perform. So I'm 9:30 Sunday, West Coast time.
Yep.
Tap in. I'll be around. I'm going to I haven't done watch parties. I've been sick with the flu for weeks. It's crazy. This has just been a weird
flu
with a super flu, all of that. So
super flu.
We're healing up. We're going to drink some orange juice. We're going to get back on the pitch, and and so my last question to you, Alexis, is: does this take pressure off for this season? Does this allow us to kind of sit back and watch, or are you still feeling the pressure of being in 5th place, competing for a Champions League and or more?
After losing those games that we lost and tying, there's no pressure at this point in the season. I don't want to say the season's gone, but there's definitely not pressure to make Champions League. The only way we're going, of course, we want to make Champions League, but I definitely don't think that there's this insane pressure. It's going to be like, okay, hopefully, if everybody else messes up and we capitalize on some of these games, it happens. But I
Yeah.
don't want to be pessimistic, but like, I don't think this is going to be a good season.
Yeah. We're now watching just players specifically.
Yeah, and I think we just gotta manage our expectations. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm saying that to just manage my expectations because obviously I want us to climb. I want Villa to lose a couple games and us to get up there. But I'm just trying to manage my expectations.
I'm with you. Still will maintain that there are not 4 teams better than us in the Premier League as it stands right now. I just don't think so, manager or not. So to your point, we're gonna just watch. I think it's crazy. Arsenal smacked up Villa the way they did, but I hope
they're serious.
Yeah,
Serious here, and
it's just weird. And now Man City's dropping points, so maybe this looks like Arsenal's time. 15 points. It's a lot, but we're gonna have to see.
They're not gonna let it. The thing is, they are not going to let themselves lose. Did you see the way they reacted?
Yeah.
In that Villa game when they scored that goal.
Yeah.
This team, it means something more to them.
I mean, it should. It's coming in second place years and years in a row.
Exactly. So that's something I wish we could get a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no, they're serious.
They're serious, but we got a whole half of the season and we don't know what can happen. We have the players, which is always something I'm excited about. At least we have that. Anything could happen. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think it actually will be hopeful. We're going to still be here, everybody. So I appreciate everybody tapping in.
And then watch us win. The talk's going to be like, could Callum, the U21 coach, be the
right?
We
beat City, and now the U21 coaches are
be the missing piece that Chelsea needed.
That would be so nuts.
Watch.
That would be nuts. I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
Go crazy.
But I'm ready to like get into a Carabao Cup final and win against a Man City or something. I'm ready to get deep into the Champions League. Like I think those things can still happen. And I think we can easily get top 4 this season and actually get some from the season. So time will tell. We've got a lot coming. You guys, appreciate you tapping in. Again, Fernando Lugano, appreciate you. Hope you feel better, brother. That flu is not to be messed with. I know everybody's got the flu. Daz EFC, I appreciate you tapping in. The homie Joshi always tapping in. Vera Johnson, Mama, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Hi, Mom.
Appreciate you tapping in. We have more to come. We're gonna be here Fridays. I wonder, we're gonna have to take a poll. Maybe we'll try to take a poll on the Instagram sometime this week because I don't know. I kind of rather liked the nighttime West Coast nighttime time slot.
I didn't mind it either.
Might be something. We'll Americanize this channel.
Our first ever one when I hopped on that one random time was at night.
That's true. That's true. The evenings are lit. Look, this is what we do on Fridays. We get ready for Saturdays. We get ready for Premier League. So more to come. Appreciate everybody who's tapped in. Again, if you want to tap in with us, Alexis, we know is always on. I try to be on as much as I can on our Instagram. It's wow.
I got you guys.
Flu fog. Pull it up for us. It's Starter Bench
CFC.
That's all. Starter Bench CFC. Come tap in with us. There's posts all the time. Keep the conversation going. We're gonna keep that blue
in the chat too.
And drop it in the chat. We're gonna keep that blue flag flying high. Again, appreciate everybody who's tapped in. Tap in with us next Friday. We will definitely let you know early on by Wednesday whether we'll be doing it at 11 Pacific time or somewhere closer to 6. But again, as always, we always strive to give you as blue ballers what's new and what's blue. Go ahead. Rewind that thing if you need to and screenshot that. It's Instagram.com, StarterBenchCFC. And again, praying for a win this weekend against City. We want to see the best of our players. Now they're free. They're free. Fly. We'll see. We'll see. I know Alexis is skeptical. Y'all have a great weekend. All right,
guys. Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Up the Chels, y'all. Peace.